start now?
Here we go.
Okay, go ahead.
Watch out!
Everybody listen to the young rock master. Deep who fish like a bastard, no better than the other. I can compare, so you need to compare what you get with upgrade. When I am in here, I'm in the atmosphere. Everybody listen to the young rock master. Deep who fish like a bastard, no better than the other. Let me away and wait to eat the bit. I keep them up here, don't even care. So I'm feeling from what you get to do that.
Hey, 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 who's in that dog? Who's in that hey? Who's in that dog? Who's in that
hey? Hey, what's up? This is One Iam. You are listening to Urban Revolution on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. I got Debbie here with me on my right hand.
Hi, everybody.
And we're ready to do another show for you tonight. You listen to Revolution Radio, and Revolution Radio is listener supported. That means that we run by listener contributions to the station. So, we ask that the people that listen, that enjoy the shows and etc., contribute a little in order to keep us running. A couple of dollars every month or so from everybody. That would more than do it, So, if you can, hit the contribute button and by all means, give a couple of bucks. I want to have some, we're going to talk tonight about the American dream, and whether or not it's still alive, whether or not the dream has turned into a nightmare or exactly what's going on. And I'd really like to hear from the audience tonight on what they think about the American dream and what's happening in their lives. Do you still have, the dream? Are you still working toward it? What exactly does the American dream mean to you today in 2011? And you can call in and let us know, exactly how you feel about this American dream. And the call-in number in the USA is 347-688-2902. The call-in number in the UK. And I do want to hear from people in the UK, New Zealand, Australia. Do you still want to come to America? Do you still have the dream to come here and make it big? Is this the best place in the world to be? Like the dream puts it out there. The UK number is 020-3286-3697. The Australian number is 03-9010-5725. And the New Zealand number is 03-669-2431. And you can get in on Skype also. You add Freedom Screen to your contacts, and then after you've been added as a contact, which should be immediate, then you can call Freedom Screen through Skype, and it should be a free call to anybody calling in that wants to talk about the American dream. Let me define the American dream right quick. The American dream is a national ethos of the United States in which freedom includes a promise of the possibility of prosperity and success. In the definition of the American dream by James Truslow Adams in 1931, life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone, with opportunity for each according to ability or achievement, regardless of social class or circumstances of birth. The idea of the American dream is rooted in the United States Declaration of Independence, which proclaims that all men are created equal and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, including life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, since its founding in 1776, the United States has regarded and promoted itself as an empire of liberty and prosperity. It did say an empire. Sometimes you forget that the United States is an empire and that they have possessions all over the world, not just the United States itself. They have islands and Puerto Rico and other things that they actually own that they really haven't named as theirs. And they have military bases everywhere in the world, as the police of the world. So, it really is an empire. But Debbie, you want to tell me what you think about the American dream and when you were small or a child growing up, was it presented to you in school and et cetera? And exactly what did you think, or what do you think now of the American dream?
The American dream to me was a typical basic family from the structure that I was raised in, which meant there was a mother, there was a father, there were siblings. And you had a structure where you went to work, the parents went to work, the kids went to school, kids come home, you all sit down, eat dinner, discuss what had happened in your daily activity, mother and father share, which unfortunately most of America has gotten away from that. Everybody eats in a different room now.
Yeah, usually with a computer in front of them or something.
Right. The world has just gotten so far away from what the American dream to me was. My American dream was to grow up and pattern myself after my parents and do the things that my parents did. Unfortunately, that didn't happen either, but hey. It was just a basic family structure. We never really talked about that in school. We talked about it kind of at home, and that's what I have patterned myself as, to get married, have a family, and kind of create the same environment that my parents created for me. Because I did have a mother and a father in the house at all times. We were strictly disciplined heavily. We had rules that we had to follow, so that was my American dream, to grow up and, get a job, work that job for 30 years, retire, have some money saved up in the bank, drive a Cadillac, sunroof top.
That was your American dream, huh?
Yeah.
To bust it for 30 years and be able to have your Cadillac after you retire and everything.
Well, it was to, get your professional career, and have all the things that you want, a nice, comfortable home, maybe 2.3 kids, a dog, picket fence, that whole sort of thing. But the older I got, I guess the more it became a misconception that wasn't happening. Maybe because there were a lot of men that were actually missing in my era.
Like what? Like fathers?
Fathers or men that wanted to settle down, have families, and, or to, have that structure. Because just because you had that type of structure don't mean that a lot of other people had that structure. And I say that to say that, I just posted something last night about, how part of my American dream was to honor thy mother, honor thy father. And I said, I went over my mother's house yesterday. And I said, man, I can't even imagine what it would be like to be without my mother, first of all, because I've had her for 72 years. And just it's a joy to go to her house because I went over there just to drop off some fertilizer I purchased for her. And she's like, hey, I made some dressing, got some chicken. Hey, sit down and have a bite with me. We chit-chat for a few minutes. And she's like, what's going on, da-da-da-da-da. So you kind of build up a structure of what American dream is. And people don't really have that no more where they sit down and talk to their parents about anything.
Yeah. So your American dream was like everyday American family life and just being comfortable in America.
Right.
Okay. So basically you bought into it. You bought into what I call an illusion of prosperity because you born in I
was born in
57.
50-something.
Okay.
57.
Right. Okay. A woman, a black woman.
Right.
Okay, there's certain ceilings that were there for you. And as a woman, and then as a black woman, there were certain places where you just were not going to be able to go. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, because when I was growing up, unfortunately back in that era, women weren't actually allowed to wear pants to work and to school. They wore dresses and skirts, and they didn't wear a lot of mini skirts and revealing things, and if you did back in that day, unfortunately, they called you what was called
They called you a garden tool.
Right. And to me, which has really become hard pressed because back in my day, back when I was growing up, a woman that wasn't married by a certain age, unfortunately, according to the American dream, was actually called an old maid.
Yeah, and that was like by what age?
If you weren't married, I think it was like if you weren't married by 30, you were called, or 25 or 30, you were called a old maid.
That old, huh?
Right. So, I guess I was an old maid because I did get married.
I wouldn't have let it go that far, huh? 25 or 30. I thought it was more like around, back in the old days, it was kind of like around 18, 19. You were an old maid.
Well, that's back. I'm saying that was in our mother's, era. But I'm saying around in our era, women were actually afraid that if they weren't married by 30, that they would be an old maid or a spinster.
Yeah. Well, you know that the American dream, what they sold us, the bill of goods that got sold to us, the American dream, it never did apply to women and black people per se. Even though a lot of black people and women bought in, there were struggles and everything that they had to overcome and things that they had to overcome in order to even, be able to see some of what they thought was the American dream. The Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, and et cetera, and all the inalienable rights and everything were basically for white men. You see what I'm saying? So, and even though they pushed this out to everybody, not at first, because where we were at first. It wasn't even pushed. That idea wasn't even pushed to us. I don't know when they really pushed this idea of the American dream out here and started selling it to everybody. But I'm going to tell you, from day one, the American dream was an illusion. It was hype. That's all it's ever been. This country was sold up and pretty much locked down by secret societies and Masonic orders and higher ups, elites from day one. It was locked down. And you even had a couple of presidents that came forward and like blew the whistle. Who is that? Too short. Blow the whistle. Boop, boop. Right. That's exactly what they did.